I needed a phone mount for filming content here on my channel, and I could not decide. I was agonizing over the decision, so I ended up buying both. I ordered the ever so popular Arkon mount. This is highly recommended. And I got the canvas lamp. Now this is just the base. I'll show you the rest here in a moment. Now I obviously don't need to keep both of these, and they each have something a little bit different to offer. So I'm going to share my honest thoughts, the pros and cons, and then we're going to decide which one I'm keeping and which one is headed back to Amazon. I've been creating content for the YouTube platform for several years now. I teach scrapbooking and card making tutorials, so the majority of my videos are like a bird's eye view looking down at my desk where you can watch the process. So I have a super high-tech filming setup here in my craft room. I say that completely sarcastically. I will show you that here in just a moment. But I needed something like this canvas lamp to take with me on the go. I travel to retreats several times a year, and I will even get on a plane and fly to a scrapbooking retreat. So whatever I decide to keep, canvas or Arkon, it has to be something that can easily pack down into a suitcase and go with me to the airport. Now all of my filming is done on an iPhone, so that is why I needed a phone mount for my filming. Here is my filming stand in my craft room. I told you it was super high tech. We have a wooden shim I stole from my husband's workshop. I've got a binder clip where I clip my $9 lapel mic to, another clip where I'm supporting the excess wires, and then that end just plugs into a phone that sits right on top. That's my husband's phone, and we're just using that for demonstration purposes. And then you can see it looks down at my desk where you can see the scrapbooking magic happen. So I just happen to have this shelf here, and it's at the perfect height, and this works well for me. This is just to counterbalance the weight of the phone. And then I have an aught light on either side of my desk to help reduce shadowing. We will look at these two lamps side by side, but let's take a close-up look at the canvas lamp first. So these are all the components that came in the box. You have a weighted base, and this is nice and solid, but you also have this option, which is very appealing to me because remember I said I'm getting on a plane traveling to a retreat, and this is not only very heavy, but it's bulky. I'd much rather fly to a retreat with something like this. So you would clip it to the end of your table. The bottom of the canvas lamp has this element, so you would either insert that into your weighted base or into here, and then you just tighten it with these to make it secure. So this is definitely a plus when getting on a plane. It is USB, so they included this little plug-in, so you could plug that in and power the lamp. And it also has a switch where you can increase or decrease the intensity. It turns it on and off, and you can adjust it from a cool light to a warm light. Now, when you are filming art tutorials, lighting is very important. Really, lighting in any video is very important. So this does come with a light, and it does have this nice kind of diffuser on here, so you're not getting as harsh of a reflection on your projects. But it's not, it's really kind of depends. I've been to some retreats where the lighting is fantastic and this additional lighting is all you need. Some retreats are like dark little dungeons and you're in a cave and you would need lots of, maybe side lighting coming in to reduce shadows. So I can't really, it depends on the venue. If you were at home and it was dark in your room, no natural lighting, I don't think that this would be enough light by itself for quality filming. However, it was nice at the last retreat I did take this to. So you can see here, basically the canvas lamp it has a joint here where you can flex it, and then also you can move this up and down, and you can swivel it sideways. The phone is going to sit right in here. This expands to the width of your phone, and then your phone screen would be looking down. So we all know, I'm not, as tech savvy as some, but this side of the camera takes a much better video quality than the front facing camera. So when I film, I want this facing down to my project. and it was very easy to put this into the mount here, and then the phone or the camera is looking down. Well, I need to adjust it, but you can turn this and then slide it down. So now you can see that the frame of the canvas lamp is not interfering with my screen. Some of the pros for this particular mount, it was so easy to level my phone. It took seconds to level it. There's nothing worse than when you're looking down at someone's, backdrop and it's crooked. At least that really bothers me. So with this, it's flat, so super easy to get that level and ready to film with no time fussing with it, trying to, get it to be just perfect. So that was definitely a big plus, along with the travel base. Now, I do want to point out, ironically, the last retreat I went to, the tables were thicker than this. And I think that that's not typical because, like I said, I've been to a ton of retreats and they're the typical folding tables. But at this particular venue, they were heavy duty, super thick, and I had to grab a couple books. And I just clipped this to the books and they were heavy enough to counterbalance the lamp, and I was able to use it just fine. But it was a problem for me, but it was easily solved. Here are all of the components to the Arkon mount. Now, you can get just the mount. I did get kind of the whole package. And what this is here, I haven't even opened this because honestly, it's, a bonus and doesn't really interfere with how the camera mount performs. So that is the stand that you can clip on here for your tablet or an additional phone. And I thought, this would be really nice because when I'm doing like a zoom crop, I can film my desk and then also see what's going on. So that appealed to me, and I wanted to get the light because, as we mentioned earlier, lighting is very important. So I got the option with the light, and you can see how that clips to your phone. And I'm already going to tell you that this little light here is a complete joke. Don't waste your money on the light. It's pretty much worthless. It's a selfie light, and that would be its only benefit. I mentioned earlier when I'm filming, I'm using the rear-facing camera, and you can see by the way they're showing this that it illuminates when you're using the camera on the front of your phone. So it's worthless. So you can see here, if you try to clip it on, it's interfering with the lens and in the way. Yes, you could put it over here, but honestly, it does not emit enough light to make worth this thing hanging on your phone being in the way. It's worthless. So again, all it's good for here is a selfie light, and I'm sure you could pick one of those up on Amazon. Super, super cheap. So this it has no benefit to me for what I'm using it for. Maybe this little light will actually improve my selfie game. Yeah, no, still bad, really bad. This little clamp here hooks to your post, and then you would attach this, and that is for your tablet. So I'm going to set those aside, and we'll just take a look at the pieces that create the actual phone mount used for filming. So you have the base, and this is nice and thin. That's a bonus. It's also weighted. It's pretty heavy. It's only maybe about 1/4 of an inch as to where the canvas base was 1.5 inches. So, that could be a pro or con. And then you have the post, which hooks into here. And then you can see all of these are like ball joints, so they move around, and that's the main benefit of the Arkon mount. You can position these in so many unique angles. Now, 99.9% of my content, I don't want unique angles. I want my camera straight, I want it square and looking down at my desk. Now, you could do some unique angles, maybe coming in from the side to focus in on a creative technique that you're teaching, and you want to show that more clearly. Plus, it would be interesting to look at some different angles in your filming. But what I found is by the time I got this all set up, and I'll show you, standing up, I'll show you the whole thing assembled. It was a pain in the derriere to get these tightened enough to where there was no drifting, nothing was moving. I didn't want to, it would not be practical to take this apart and move it to get different shots. It would be very time consuming and big enough of a deterrent to where I would never do it. So the benefit of being able to place it in different angles was kind of outweighed by how many times, like I thought, and I consider myself pretty strong, I would get these tight and then set it up and put my phone in there and it would start drifting and I'd have to tighten it again. And I talked to a few friends who do use these in their everyday filming, and they said once they get it set up for their phones, they don't want to take it apart because it was annoying. It wasn't a quick process. So, take that to consideration when you are outweighing the benefits of having something you can move around. So basically you just would loosen these, and then you loosen it until it's wide enough that you can pop that joint in, and then you would just twist it righty-tighty to make it tightened down, and then this will clip into this end, and then you can have a stand tall enough to clip to your, I'm trying to be lazy and not go too wide. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to put these together and we're going to take a look at them side by side, and then I will point out some more benefits and maybe things that are not so great in my opinion. Here's a look at the phone mount side by side, canvas on the left, Arkon on the right. And this is another really big pro, a benefit to the canvas lamp. So I'm going to push this down so you can see. I can very easily see what's on my desktop. I can look right at my phone screen and see what it's recording. Now, if you look at the mount on the Arkon, it holds your phone and it's going to interfere with the way that's looking. Let me switch the phone over and I'll show you what I mean. Here's my phone in the Arkon mount, and yes, you can still view the desktop, but this component is in the way. Plus, it's just a bit of an annoyance to get in here and hit the record or stop record button. So, not the end of the world, but like I said, more of an annoyance. Here is a bird's eye view of my desk using the canvas lamp, and you can see we've got 2 feet, a little over 2 feet across with these mats, 1 foot deep, and I still could go higher and reveal even more of the area on my desk if I needed to. I've used inexpensive phone mounts before and ran into the problem of them not going high enough for a double page layout, and I had to prop them up and alter them to get them to work. So the canvas lamp works beautifully. The base is not visible. It's just up here and it's not visible in the shot, so I do appreciate that. So this is without the light on. I've shut off all the lights in my craft room. Now, to be fair, I do have a window right in front of me and the blinds are down, but there is some natural light. So I'll go ahead and click the switch. This is on, and then this is off. Again, on, and that's the brightest setting, and then off. So it does provide some nice light, and you'll see here there's still some ring light illumination when it catches the reflection on the glossy photos, but it's not showing when it's spread out like this. Now I want to do a stability test because we don't want shaking and rocking and rolling going in our videos. So I've got a gum remover eraser and a piece of paper, and I thought I would just kind of rub the surface. This generally will cause camera shake. So this is again with the canvas lamp, and now we can compare it with the Arkon lamp when I make this switch. Here we are with the Arkon mount, and I have already spent, I don't even know how long, it feels like 5 minutes, trying to get this set up and get everything square, and it was drifting forward and I kept tightening it, and it was just taking longer than I wanted to take. With the canvas lamp, I slapped my phone in the holder. I could clearly see the screen. All I had to do was adjust it so that it was square, and it took me less than 20 seconds. Like I said, I've been spending quite a few minutes trying to get this how I want it. Now, in all fairness, once you have it set up and everything's tightened down really well, I don't think it would keep drifting. However, as I said, one of the benefits was all of the unique angles. I'm not going to want to move this because it took me too long to get it set. Now, there's no extra lights on in my craft room because this doesn't have a light, and I wanted you to see that. But I did spot ring lights attached with zip ties at the retreat I went to. So you could, but still that's another thing you have to purchase and carry and attach with zip ties to the top of your Arkon mount. So you could theoretically add a light. Now we're gonna do the shake test. I'm shaking my desk here, rubbing this, and so you can kind of see the comparison using the Arkon versus the canvas. So let me set that aside, bring this back in. When we were looking at the Arkon mount and the overhead camera, I didn't point out that this has a telescoping arm. So you can easily increase the height of this, and then you tighten this when you have it at the height you want it, or it does telescope all the way in, making it very nice for travel. So this does break down nice and compact, and the base is more streamlined than the base of the canvas lamp. However, remember, the canvas lamp comes with a desk clamp, making this the better option for travel. So funny story too, I was at the retreat with my friend Jama, and she has the Arkon mount, and she decided to go home with this in her carry-on. So a metal plate was a problem when she was going through security, and they made her unpack her entire bag. This was of course at the bottom, to see what this was. So something to take note of when you are traveling with your Arkon mount. So the telescoping arm is nice, but then we also talked about the benefits of this one with these ball joints. You know, you can pivot them in any direction, getting some unique angles and unique shots. However, the canvas lamp still, you know, it rotates up and down like this, and it rotates all the way around 360 this way. So really, I'm still able to get down here and angle this and get some shots, close-up shots of maybe like a coloring tutorial, or, you know, something of that nature that I might be wanting to really focus in on. So honestly, I can still get those unique angles with this one. Does it have the complete maneuverability of a ball joint? No, but I think it's plenty more than I could ever need or want for the type of content that I film. And I do want to mention that while watching another review on the canvas lamp, she complained about a hum, like a little electrical hum. And I thought, that's weird. I used this at a retreat and didn't notice that, but maybe there was too much background noise. So I turned it on while I was working and made sure there was no other noises in my craft room, and I never noticed any type of hum. So maybe that was a defect with her lamp, I'm not sure, or maybe they fixed that problem. But anyway, that's not an issue for me at all. I do want to highlight the fact that the Arkon mount comes with an adapter that you could film with either your phone or a regular camera, as to where the canvas lamp is strictly designed for filming with your cell phone. So keep that in mind. And if you film with a camera, then the Arkon mount might be a better fit for you, because you have that versatility of being able to switch back and forth between your filming devices. All of my content's created on a phone, so it's not a deciding factor for me. And if you haven't guessed by now, I'm gonna keep the canvas lamp and return the Arkon. Sorry, Arkon, it's not you, it's me. In all seriousness, they're both excellent quality, and either one would do a great job in your craft room, helping you to film your content and share it with others. So I really think you can't go wrong. Each of these are excellent quality, and they both function as described. Now, one caveat: a moment ago I said that this does 360, turn. It does not go completely around, but you can turn it 180 one way and then 180 the other way, so you get that full rotation. Now, on Amazon, at the time I purchased these, the canvas lamp was $170 and the Arkon was $140. So there is a bit of a difference in the price. On the canvas website, the prices were lower, but I wanted the flexibility of being able to return it on Amazon. Plus, I had some Amazon points, making the price a little bit less for me. I'm not sponsored by either of these companies. I bought these both on my own. And I do want to say I have tried a lot of phone mounts over the years. My very first one was this gooseneck mount. This was $9.99, complete junk, do not recommend. And then I also tried this one here. This was $22. It's got a little clamp, a desk clamp on the other end, and it was not tall enough to, encompass a double page layout, and I had to get creative propping this up, and there's no light. So yes, I've tried quite a few, and I'm never one to recommend you go out and buy the best of the best. If you're just getting started in creating videos, make sure this is what you want to do before investing in something that's a higher price point like the canvas or the Arkon mount. But after trying, the cheap ones, you do get what you pay for. And like I said, either of these are great. So I hope this helps you decide. Happy crafting!